For every.
Welcome back to Fox 43 AM Live. Join us now with Linda Bryden, CEO of Sunflower Association of Realtors. Good morning.
Good morning.
No, thanks for joining us today. You know, we've been talking about kind of preparedness for September, and September is also Realtor Safety Month. And as I understand it, it's not just about realtors, but buyers and sellers and pretty much everybody else kind of involved in almost home buying and that whole industry. So yeah, tell us more about Realtor Safety Month. Kind of what do you guys kind of look at and factor into your guys' job every day?
Right. Well, technology has really kind of changed a lot of the ways people used to do their real estate business, simply because it's emails and texts and not as much face-to-face contact, so you don't really know the person that you're dealing with. And so we really encourage all of realtors to make sure that the first time they meet a potential client, it's in their office.
Okay.
It's not alone in a vacant house, that they have done their homework really and spent some time trying to find out more about that person other than just a name, because you never know, unfortunately, when some people are posing as a client, but really they have ill intent. They're not interested in buying a home.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's something that maybe like people that aren't in the realtor business don't even really think about. And I guess as you were talking about some of the dangers where you're going to these houses or empty houses a lot of the time, and you don't know where they're going to be at. Like some of the dangers right there. Like what else is kind of goes into the dangers of that job? I would suppose that. That's happening.
Well, realtors are an easy target because they work alone, typically. Open houses can be an issue, especially if you're not very diligent about that last person really being out of the house, or if you haven't kept track of how many people come in, but also how many people have left. You don't want to be in a situation where you're showing a home and you're allowing the client to be behind you. That can be a dangerous situation. Typically, the best and safest thing is to let them look at the house and stay in a local or a central place close to an exit, so that if something would arise, then you have a safe way out.
Like a lot of spatial awareness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, and are there other ways to protect yourselves? Like, could you bring an assistant with you, or a coworker, a friend, even? Yeah, like what systems are in place there?
Well, it depends on the realtor. We always think that nothing bad will ever happen to us. It's always somebody else. But the statistics for realtors either feeling unsafe or threatened or actually being attacked are pretty high. So absolutely, if you're going to show a house, tell your office mate or your buddy, have a buddy system, where you're going, what time you should be back, and if you're not, have them call you. Again, open houses, it's never a bad idea to take somebody with you, just to be safe. Never have your car blocked in a driveway. Always park on the street, because a perpetrator could potentially block you in and cut off an exit for you. So.
Yeah, I know, those are all good ideas. And also, we speak with open houses, sometimes you sell in a house people still live in. It may be dressed up and decorated. Are there ways for the seller to protect their identity almost at an open house?
Right. Most realtors will always say, take your personal items down. Anything of value, stow it away, hide it. I've even heard where it's a good idea just to put it in a box and lock it in your trunk. A lot of times, some of these people will work in tandem. One will be distracting the realtor while the other one is pilfering through drawers. You always want to make sure you don't have prescription drugs out, because that's a target for some people. Family photos, it's unfortunate that there are so many things you have to be aware of, but children's photos, child predators will also know that that house has a small child, and that just gives them more information than they should have.
All right, yeah, something to be aware of. And then, you know, along the lines of kind of keeping your identity a little anonymity, if you will, like when you're in the digital landscape, you know, a lot of money is involved with buyers and selling homes. And as you were talking about, people work in tandem to scams to kind of get the better of you. What are ways that, you know, even buyers can kind of protect themselves from a potential phishing scam when online? You're talking to realtors online through email. You have no face. Yeah, what are ways to protect yourselves with that?
Well, that's a huge problem, and it's grown exponentially over the last few years, and the loss in wire fraud financially is in the millions of dollars. And I know buyers get so excited. They want to get in that house, and they want to close that
let's get that done.
Let's get it done.
This hot market right now we've had this year. You jump in there, you make deals fast.
Yes. Well, one of the things that you really have to watch out for as a buyer is getting an email that says we're changing your wiring instructions, because that's a really red flag. And what you should do is you should take your mouse and hover over that email address, because usually there's one little thing wrong in there. Or forward, don't reply, because you're just replying back to the person that's trying to steal your money. Forward it and see what happens. It probably is going to come back undeliverable. But I mean, the money moves so quickly with wire transfers. By the time you may have a bad feeling and figure out that I shouldn't have done that, the money has moved 3 or 4 times.
And it's gone.
Well, the sooner it's reported, the better your chances are of getting some of it recovered. But the longer you wait, that goes down.
Good to know. Yeah, always double check with your familiar realtor. Give them a call, if you will, if anything else. Don't stick to the same messaging system.
Absolutely. And do not call the number on the email. You know, call the title company.
Go with what you've known, and you know, stay safe like that.
Don't fall into the trap.
Exactly. Well, Linda, thank you so much for joining us today. These were all great ideas to kind of keep us a little bit safer, you know, not only this month, but for the rest of our lives.
That's right. Every day.
And for more information, you can go to sunflowerrealtors.com.